and a true worshiper worship the Father in truth. So salvation is of the Jews. Anyways, we're grafted in, so I understand that. And then he goes on to say, God is a spirit. All those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. And then he's the Messiah. So that was all. That's just something I gathered. No big deal, but it's worth clanging a little bit. Well, the reason why I brought this up, because, you know, people were telling me on some kind of social media, they said the scripture, they were using the gospel to try to promote this perverted globalism. You know, what can I say? There was a verse about, oh, when do you see me hungry or thirsty? Jesus said that, and you didn't feed me. You see me in prison. You didn't come visit me, and etc., right? So they use that verse to say that, therefore, that we must allow and welcome all these foreigners, intruders, I call them, invaders. In fact, that there are pawns used by the globalists. If you don't believe that, just Google the word, I don't like Google, but the word open society and see who's funding that. Has millions of dollars. The Southern Poverty Law Center by George Soros and the globalists, the technocrats that want to take over the United States because they hate us. We're the only Christian, the believers in Jesus left. So they want to flood us in the name of toleration. You have to tolerate other religions, even though those religions are shouting Aloha Akbar. They want to cut off your heads, and now they're putting Muslim, you know, people in a Congress. So, you know, you're basically bringing destructions to our society. And if you cannot even say the Western civilization without being punished or censured, like Steve King, there is something so fundamentally wrong, immoral, because then you will freaking put Jesus in jail. Not only that, he will not only be a racist, he will be a supremacist of some sort, because, well, that's why you have to know the whole truth, the whole word. You know, the globalists, the invaders, they use the money. Actually, they take the tax money. This is why it is so insulting that our taxpayers, about $145 million, go to these countries, Honduras and El Salvador, etc. Every year. I don't get a dollar from the government, and this so-called shutdown. I mean, all I see, like CNN or MSNBC, was interviewing, whining. They went to this black farmer. He was whining about he's not getting his farm subsidy. So it's a farm welfare as well. His farm subsidy check. He said, I'm waiting for my $15,000 check from the government. So if you're a nanny state, you believe in the government, then therefore you're part of the globalists, because you know why? You're relying on them to give you the check. And that's a nanny state. And this is what happens. Dependency upon government is what causes the globalists to take over, because they can flood you and then take control of the power of the United States of America, give it to the people who have no loyalty. Because it's by sheer numbers. There's gazillions of them. They want to come in. You going to feed them? Okay, fine. Pastors, go feed them. But, you know, don't drag me into the poorhouse that we're on the streets. So if they care more about foreigners than care about us, who are already here. I mean, you know, who are citizens of the United States of America. So what I said, just because I know. Because that's how the Chi-Com killed 60 million of its own people. Oh, no, I think it was 80 million. But, you know, that's part of the scheme, is to bring subjugation into all the people, so that you buy into their lies and surrender all your weapons, the way to defend yourself, the firearms. And in China, it was so bad. It was so bad when they confiscated, not just firearms, they confiscated your wok, anything with metal, because they don't want you to make some kind of firearm or some kind of knives out of it. With that said, this is another John 4 that, you know, I would dare to prove it to you. Nowadays, Jesus will be called a total racist. Okay? Because remember that in those days, Jews, right? Jews and Gentiles. Either you're a Jew or you're a Gentile. And Gentiles are the lower class, of course, and, you know, the Jews are they find him despicable. So until Jesus came, and therefore, I mean, he's the best emancipation of the humankind, right? It happened because of Jesus Christ. So this is really, really wild when I flipped. I know I'm not a scholar, so this I have to look that up, the Mark. When I stumble onto this verse too, I don't just open the page every day and say, oh yeah, maybe I'll, you know, like, this is the chapter I'm going to read or whatever. But I think I did hear about this before. So what is it? Okay, the Gentile woman. So this is a total different scenario. This is a very shrewd, smart woman. I think the Samaritan woman is very smart. Nothing wrong with that, because that's why Jesus said that we are grafted in, you know, because he made a way for us, the Gentiles. Otherwise, that we're dying in our sins. So anyways, it's equal opportunity, if you don't know what that means. The Mark 7:24, so he arose, went to the region of Tyre and Sidon. I just think this is a interesting story. You know, maybe you can give me some of your notes, or when I say your notes, like you probably learn more about it than I have. I'm just reading this off New King James and Spirit-Filled Bible by Jack Hafer. But this is the word. So Jesus entered into this house and wanted no one to know about it, but he could not be hidden. Okay, so we're here that you know it's a word. A woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard about him, and she came and fell at his feet. I'm just trying to picture this whole thing. So the woman was a Greek, a Syro-Phoenician, whatever that means, by birth. And she kept asking him to cast the demon out of her daughter. But Jesus said to her, let the children be filled first, for it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. I did not make it up. And read what it says. That's Mark 7:27. Let the children be filled first. It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. So, you know, nowadays, Cortez would say, that you are damn racist, you're condemned, you're Hitler, you're a mafia. So what he's saying, he's just saying, we don't have enough to feed our own kids. Let our children be filled first, right? It is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. He's calling her the little dogs. Did you get that? Openly. And then verse 28, this is Mark 7:28. She answered and said to him, she didn't argue. She just answered. Because you're in the presence of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. You better not argue. She answered because she needs a favor from the guy, right? She answered and said to him, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yet even the little dogs, let me straighten my hat, under the table eat from the children's crumbs. So if there are crumbs from the children filled, and then the crumbs, like meaning like you eat, sometimes you get a little sloppy, there's little crumbs. A little dog, she's that little dog, ga 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 ga. You know how it is? Like if you have like meatball spaghetti on the table, and it happens that one slips, and then the falls underneath, and then the dog's like wow, wow, wow. Yeah, he's all happy. He's just waiting to jump on it, and it's gone. It's like one chump. I don't get it. How did they even taste the thing that it's a meatball? I think it's a total waste for dogs, because they just thought chump, and it's gone. Poof. They don't never chew. Nothing like that. You know. I mean, I prefer to know what's in my mouth instead. Yes, I always do. when you go to the dentist, figure out, say, what is that you put in my mouth? I don't want them to put like the prior thing in my mouth, right? It's just like, I don't know what they put in my mouth. That's why I refuse the so-called sleep dentistry. Because if you're sleeping, you don't know what they put in your mouth. Oh, all done. You open up. Ah, it's all gone. So I didn't write this. I did not write this, and you can't blame me. I'm just reading to you. He will definitely be called racist nowadays. So then Jesus said to her, because this is cool. So he didn't chide her, because he just told her plainly, you know, hey, take care of my own people first before I take care of you. Not even the crumbs, right? And then she said the crumbs. Well, no, she's the one who said the crumbs. He says there's not enough. Let me take care of my people. Not enough bread to give it to my people. She said, well, what about just a little crumb from your children's table to, you know, feed the little dogs? She didn't deny that she was a little dog. It's not an insult. It's just a parable, that he was using a parable. And she gets it. That's a smart woman. That's called, in my mind, a legal immigrant who says that, yes, I want to get the big American pie, this beautiful shining pie. But, you know, if there's not enough, I would be patient. I would do it the right way. I would plead with the master, the gatekeeper. So it's not lawlessness, some stupid judge somewhere in Ninth Circuit that, you know, who had a cush life and brainwashed by the Chi-Com through the education system that hate America and say that we don't deserve any kind of a sovereignty, that we have to be invaded, and because America is evil, imperialistic, and therefore that we should have all these people from all these unknown places, and, you know, to bring us a disease, disaster, we deserve it. You know, disease, disaster, poverty, and pretty much make it a shithole country. If you don't agree, just go down to even Van Nuys, Los Angeles. Nothing but tents and, you know, people not playing instruments that I'm doing. All right, I don't know why I went on, but it just kind of caught my eye. So, the good thing is, the good news is, if you reason with God, so it's like we do plead with the gatekeeper. You know what I'm saying? If he's the gatekeeper, it's just like right now, we have a gatekeeper, a president of the United States, Donald Trump, that who says, no, well, we're in debt. You know that how scary the ratio of the debt climbing is. Oh, the government shut down. It's like frightening. But really, honestly, I would like to see the whole freaking California government shut down. Really, seriously. Because the government is too big, as you know. And when I say it's shut down, it's not really completely shut down. You still get a postal, your mail delivery, meaning that, you know, they call that non-essential, that, you know, this is already figured out, pre-planned, and everything, so-called non-essential services, and they just owe them back pay. That means we're still borrowing money. We're just going to pay them later. So-called the farm subsidy people, like Donald Trump and went and talked to, and all that kind of stuff. It's farmers' welfare, okay? Let's just face it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get mad at me. That's just the way it is, because everybody wants to, you know, get a handout from the government, whom, you know, of course, it's addicting, right? Because you get in power and you want to, you know, give them all the handouts that they want, the so-called pork barrel thing, and gazillions of dollars. I don't know, until Jesus comes in, you know, we can figure that portion out. So then they go, oh yeah, federal workers are without pay. You know, I'm not being cold-hearted. I'm just saying, you know, most of the time I'm trying to get through any agency. I mean, especially in the state of California, because they've stolen so much money and empowered their own cousins, you know, to the 7th generation, that we are in such a debt. They have to trick us on the ballot every year by saying, oh, would you agree for more clean water, when in fact, they're so fat. They got $150 billion surplus, and we don't know where the money went. And there's a fucking bullet train to nowhere that Jerry Brown has started, and now Newsom is going to continue on. Has already spent like 3 times more money than a fucking wall. Right? Oh, okay. Oh, so I just cursed. I used the word fucking wall. Yeah, I did. I mean, one time, and this is one thing I have a grudge against the church too. Well, upon my divorce, before my divorce, I was actually seeking, I'm a good fucking paying, well, I'm just upset. Okay, I don't want to say paying customer. That's not a good word. I mean, we know that we need to give with good cheerfulness, okay? A cheerful giver. I was a cheerful giver. We give thousands and thousands of dollars every year. So I say, I want to get a consultation. I'm trying to amend the broken marriage so that we possibly don't get a divorce. And I think even talking to them, try to set an appointment at that time. It is church on the way. They have a pastoral staff or some kind of counseling. I said, I would like to have a counseling session because I'm divorcing, me and my husband are divorcing or whatever. And then I say, well, I can't get it through his fucking skull or whatever that, yeah, you know, my saying was. But since I used the word fucking skull, he turned around, whoever's on the phone, he goes, oh, you call yourself a Christian? I mean, right there, he condemned me. I was like, I hung up the phone. I said, excuse me. Oh, okay, whatever. I go, I'm a, you know, well, excuse me. Like, you're so holier. I said, I used it by mistake. I say he was a fucking whatever, right? Idiot, maybe. I don't know. And then he says, you call yourself a Christian? That is so fucking condemning. That is just not right. I know that we don't want to be cursing, but sometimes it slips out. I did say, I apologize, I'm sorry. And then I didn't expect such a big judgment to hang around my head right away. So, goes back to that whenever, you know, the little Pharisee pops out, and watch out, you're just going to provoke more rebellion. And that's why church has negative reviews. But anyways, the point I was saying is, that woman, she was smart. And it actually pleased Jesus. She didn't argue. She didn't say, you're such a racist. How could you call me little dogs? She said, yes, even the little dogs gets the little breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs that fall from your children's table, meaning the Jews. And then Jesus, actually, he didn't clap. He just said, for this saying, get out of here. Go your way. The demon has gone out of your daughter. So she got what she wanted. Because, you know, she cannot cast out a demon, right? And it's tormenting her kid, her daughter. It's like probably, I don't know what the tormenting thing looks like. Maybe I can even picture just like the exorcist. Maybe she's like, you know, rolling her eyes and things like that, or, you know, bouncing up and down the ceiling. I don't know. But she went home. She had come to her house. This is verse 30 on Mark 7. She found the demon gone out. Her daughter lying on the bed. She's okay. That's all. So what was I saying? That's all I was getting at, the Mark 7 thing. By far, Jesus didn't hide the fact that, according to nowadays, he would never pass the litmus test, even in churches. He was not shy about it. About, you know, the Jews or the children of God come first, but he did say that the hour is coming, that all the gospel, it will be all even out, because, you know, he's predicting, knowing his death, his imminent death, that's going to wash us from all of our sins. So I'm just really grateful for that. And on that note, I want you globalists to really take it and shove it. That's all. Okay, yeah, I got nothing else.